Hello everyone. Now, let's dive into project management. We'll start with the first of our 12 principles, which emphasizes diligence and being a respectful, caring steward. It encompasses 3 crucial points. Let's explore them. First, it defines the concept of stewardship management. You'll notice that it involves following both internal and external rules. In other words, when managing projects, we must follow internal guidelines, as well as external standards, which include industry and societal norms. This brings us to the concept of compliance. We need to ensure this compliance. While following these guidelines, managers should act responsibly, with integrity, care, and trustworthiness in all their actions. We'll explain these terms in a moment. They should make a commitment regarding the projects they support, including their financial aspects, social impact, and environmental effects. This is what we call a stewardship commitment. So, what does this mean exactly? Let's start with the first part. It's about managing like a steward. Now, what do we mean by steward? Well, typically, it means having a complete overview and deep understanding of everything involved. This way, you'll be able to manage things effectively. Also, they're not some distant, unapproachable figure. Instead, they embody the idea of servant leadership. They'll also expect everyone to act in line with both internal, organizational guidelines and external norms, including those of the broader social environment. Let's talk about following company rules. For instance, when your company starts a project, there's usually a set of project management standards. As a project manager, you need to follow these standards to move the project forward. These standards might specify certain milestones, which reports to submit, and what activities to organize. Everything is laid out. We have to follow these guidelines to get things done. Remember, we're not working in a vacuum. We're part of a larger society and work environment. We need to follow the law, adhere to society's basic rules and guidelines. Okay, that's the first one. The second key aspect is management. It includes integrity, care, trustworthiness, and compliance. Let's break down these terms. Let's elaborate a bit. First, regarding integrity. As we mentioned earlier, when talking about project managers, we stressed integrity and honesty. We must steer clear of any unethical behavior. Maintain unwavering moral integrity. Don't you agree? This principle applies here as well. In other words, you must avoid showing any bias. You can't resort to brown-nosing or cover-ups. Instead, act with integrity in all your actions. Be fair to your clients. Respect your team members. Be accountable to your shareholders. And be honest with your superiors. You should consistently follow a principled approach in all your actions. However, keep in mind this is an exam scenario. Don't come to me saying that because of this, you lost your job. Don't come complaining to me. It's part of the exam requirements. In fact, this embodies a positive societal value. Alright. The second key word is care. Who should we care about? Show genuine concern for your team members. Invest in their personal and professional development. Address their needs across all areas of work and life. Be mindful of how they might be impacted by overwhelming distractions and noise. It's our job to clear obstacles from their path. This allows them to work with peace of mind, fully focused and deeply engaged in their tasks. That's what it means to truly care. The third key word is trustworthy. You need to showcase your reliability and trustworthiness. So, what makes someone truly trustworthy? First, they're capable of delivering results. Second, they meet your expectations, or they act in line with universal societal values in their conduct. This defines a trustworthy individual. That's what true credibility means. Now, let's talk about compliance. Compliance refers to adhering to laws, regulations, and rules. Our projects must be compliant. Throughout the project process, we must also ensure compliance. At the bare minimum, no cutting corners. Our actions and decisions must not harm society, must protect our environment. In all your operations, obey the law, follow regulations. That's what compliance means. Another key point is, in a stewardship approach to management, you need to maintain a big picture view. This approach to stewardship management considers financial aspects, social impact, technical feasibility, and environmental sustainability. This approach sets a higher standard, demanding more from managers. It's not limited to or solely focused on project-specific concerns. In our PMP course, we call this the triple bottom line concept. It integrates these 3 aspects. Let's consider an important factor. What exactly do I mean by this? When we undertake a project, first, consider the finances. The project should be able to generate positive financial value or economic benefits. In simple terms, it should make money. So, the first point is, it must be profitable. Alright, good. Second, consider the social impact. At its core, society is about people. This applies to everyone, from our employees To the end users of all products, we must consider all of them. It's our responsibility to take everyone into account. This means our projects must never compromise our employees' health and well-being. Similarly, our results shouldn't negatively impact the community or their quality of life. We must always consider these social implications, taking human factors into account. The third aspect we need to consider is environmental sustainability. This means that in our project, we must protect the environment. This includes the finished product itself, throughout its life cycle, and beyond. It must also protect the environment. This ensures that we and our generation can live in a sustainable environment, to make a living, to pursue careers, to contribute to society, while ensuring future generations can flourish in a world where they and make a difference. This concept aligns with the triple bottom line: financial sustainability, social responsibility, and environmental stewardship. When you hear this term, you likely understand it's reached a whole new level. As a steward, you must also factor in how this technology is evolving. This means considering the technical aspects. It's kind of like, what's it called? A path analysis, I think. Or you might call it a big picture analysis. We need to zoom out the broader perspective. As a leader in your position, it's essentially a visionary with a strategic mindset. Now, regarding our first principle, which is to be a diligent, respectful, and caring leader, the primary aspect of this is you must take responsibility to effectively advance initiatives while genuinely caring for your team. Build trust within your team. Lead your team effectively. Embody honesty, integrity, and kindness. Champion these core values. These elements are all essential. As I've said before, I won't belabor the point. There's one more key point. Concerning management, there's a wealth of information. We've distilled the key points to share with you today. Here's another important principle. Lead with transparency and trust. This is crucial in leadership. During project execution, we strongly emphasize transparency. We all know that interpersonal relationships are often plagued by misunderstandings. So, what causes these misunderstandings? They arise from unequal access to information. When we're not on the same page, it can lead to various issues. Suspicion and mistrust often follow, breeding mistrust. As a dedicated manager, you should lead with transparency. Now, about implementing transparency. We touched on predictive project management earlier, but didn't go into detail. Agile methodology emphasizes transparency through practices like daily stand-ups, to share information, using Kanban boards, and other visual management tools, to keep everyone in the loop. By leveraging co-sharing techniques, we can keep everyone in sync and maintain effective transparency. With sufficient transparency and trustworthy leadership guiding your team, you'll earn greater team confidence. This approach will drive more effective project progress. This embodies the first of 12 project management principles. Be a diligent steward and a respectful leader. Be a caring steward